Potatoes are one of those things. They often get forgotten. They often get like, where did the potatoes go?
I don't forget about them.
I was gonna say it's like CJ. Sometimes you just forget about them.
Who?
He's not here today. We can give him some love. Love you, CJ. Just kidding. Go watch his show. It's a great show. Today I'm talking about potatoes. We're gonna do some griddle potatoes, some over easy eggs, crispy bacon, bacon to 10. Talk about it. We'll talk about it. Let me show you how I like to do it. I'm gonna start with something I don't typically do. I'm peeling my potatoes. Now, typically, I don't know, for a video, I just want you guys to know what I'm doing. I'm peeling the potatoes, which is actually kind of fun, by the way. It's cathartic for me. Is it you guys? No?
Sure.
Sure, why not? But once they're peeled, we're gonna go to one of my favorite tools, the mandolin. Very, very thin slices here. Now, you could do this by hand, but that uniform shape, the ease of use, I'm a big fan. I'm not a huge fan of like a ton of tools. Like I don't have a garlic smasher. I like to do that by hand. I don't have like a apple corer. I do that by hand. But the mandolin, it's pretty magical.
Nate's famous potatoes.
Because of the mandolin. Go watch CJ's show for that one, Magic Pickles. Let's do Magic Pickles. We do Magic Pickles. Throw all of that into a bowl, and we're gonna get to our seasonings. A bit of olive oil here, and then we're going with garlic powder, paprika, chipotle, thyme, and chili powder, a bit of salt at the end. We'll get to all of that in the recipe down below. What I'm doing is I'm tossing everything together first in oil to get everything evenly coated. Try to separate the potatoes, sometimes they stick together, but this is gonna incorporate evenly so our seasoning gets all over everything. I'm also gonna take a sweet yellow onion. I'm gonna cut it in half again. We're quartering these, so they're not really tiny, but they're big enough to kind of shrink down a bit with the potatoes when they cook. Mix those in as well. Now I want this to sit for a bit. I want the potatoes, which are very porous, to soak in all of this flavor. So while it sits for about 5 or 10 minutes or so, let's get to our bacon. I'm using the rights because it's the right stuff. We use that joke too many times, Ethan?
Probably.
Enough times.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my bacon to a 10. We've had some disagreements in the past. Andy's a 5, and I don't get it. That's the crispiness scale. Ethan, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Where are you on the scale?
Like 8.75.
8.75?
Yeah.
It's a high score. It's good. It's good. I'm a 10, maybe an 11, but that's just me. Let me know in the comments, where do you sit on the crispy scale for bacon? I'm a 10. Where do you stand? But once we're done, let's go ahead and pull it off. What's left behind is what we were after this whole time. We're gonna cook our potatoes in that bacon fat. This doesn't take too long. I'm guessing 10 minutes or so, depending on how much you're doing, but that's the beauty of this dish. If you are throwing a family party or if you're cooking for a lot of people, this is a go-to like showstopper. They're not just simple potatoes. They're insanely good, delicious potatoes. Now let those cook and bubble away in the bacon fat. I like to toss every 3 or 4 minutes. Let's toss like 3 times before we get to the next step, which is we do want to steam them just a touch. We don't want them mushy, we don't want mashed potatoes, but adding a bit of chicken stock and doming it gives us a chance for the potatoes to steam, finish cooking, and get that like delicate soft texture, which is what we're looking for. While we're at it, some of that bacon fat just hanging out around the back, bring some of that back over, and let's crack a couple of eggs. I'm gonna go over easy, just salt. This isn't difficult, very, very simple. If you get a shell in there, you know what? Get rid of it. Don't worry about it. The last thing the potatoes need is a bit of fresh parsley. I like to chop this up, not crazy fine, but pretty tiny. Once we lift the lid, this is the last step. Give it a nice little toss, and then we're done. Once your eggs are done, it's time to plate. I'm gonna go kind of heavy. The potatoes are the star of the show. So I'm putting a decent amount of potatoes here. Some of that crispy bacon set to 10. Might go to 11. Spinal Tap, anyone? Bacon goes to 11.
Wrong show.
And it wasn't good. It was rough.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, you're pretty bad. Eggs on top, there you go. I mean, this is not a hard breakfast. It's not flashy, but it's fantastic. Let's take a bite. So I don't know if you can see, Andy, if I show you really close. It's still holding its shape, but one little bit of pressure and it's cutting, right? That's where we want to be. We're just before like that mashed potato consistency. I'm telling you, texture on a mandolin, when it gets even like that, it's just really, see how it folds over? It's a really delicate, beautiful potato. Now that seemed like a lot of seasonings, but in the end, it's worth it. We're elevating that potato. Eggs are simple. I'm a big fan of that sexy egg. If you don't like the heat, skip the chipotle. I do. A little touch of heat's nice. And This is how bacon should look, in my opinion, in my world. Ready? Chips. That's where I'm at. That's where bacon should be. I'm a 10. I'm interested to see in the comments. Where you at? A 5 like this weirdo? No way, a 5, really?
Yeah.
A 5 just like flops over.
It's the best.
I don't know about all that. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Let me know in the comments down below, what would you like to see in the future? If you have any questions, specific kinds of recipes you want to see, do you guys have any suggestions? You guys never comment on my videos.
Did you make videos? Oof.
Oof.
That's rough.
This is Cook, Eat, Repeat, where we like to help you become a better cook one recipe at a time. I'm your host, Chef Nathan Lippy. I'll see you all in the next episode.